do it now. Hello, welcome to the last fight. You know what it is. Look, this stuff's drawn on the screen. Give us a subscribe, all that stuff. This is Jamie Dykes. I'm always known as America Philly. I am the mayor of Scarborough, but the 2023 version, not the version that might have been having it off with Mr. Jimmy Savile on the slide, having dirty business in the back of his ice cream shop down there. It makes me. I kind of want to visit Scarborough because of that TV show. Just have a little walk on the promenade might be nice.
At least we know now why the ice creams were so good and creamy, because it was a bit extra for Savile sauce.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable business. But yeah, we're going to talk about The Reckoning starring Steve Coogan about Jimmy Savile. I've got a few videos of that on the channel as well. Go and check them out. But this is a live one with a man from the very west of England, Mr. Jamie Dykes. Jamie Dykes is my Matthew Steeples. Hello, Matthew. Actually, well, we can talk about that after. I did. Steeples replied to me weeks and weeks later after I thought I'd ruined it by sending him a drunk.
Yeah, I remember you said,
but he was in France and all that stuff. But I'm sure we'll be able to get him on at some point.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good. It'd be nice.
So yeah, I forgot because when they first cast Steve Coogan as Jimmy Savile, the press they were trying to manufacture outrage, like how could he play such a man? It's like, well, he's an actor playing a story that's quite important to British history and media and the BBC and all that stuff, isn't it?
Oh, big time! I think it was. I mean, the fact that some of the victims were also there, on the program as well, showing support for the program, because I think I was watching an interview with Steve Coogan and one of the women, I think her name was Sam, and she was saying, it is important for this thing to never be forgotten. Obviously, we've got to move on, but if you just fucking brush it under the carpet like the BBC were pretty much doing for his tenure at the BBC, it's going to happen again, and it has sort of happened again in some ways across the industry.
Yeah, but I think this is probably the worst one. It was 60 years of it. Getting away with it. Oh, my. Don't plug me for that, YouTube, for God's sake. Actually, just on copyright, did I tell you before? The most copyright annoyance I got about videos was the coronation. And it was basically the Catholic Church copyrighting me left, right, and centre for their songs. It's like, oh, this is a psalm from 1776. Just because it was in the background. It's like, you evil
Shit, now.
I know in the church. Yeah. No, I think so too. I think it's
of all the things we should be concerning ourselves with.
Yeah, maybe look for the bones that are undoubtedly buried in your separate country that you made inside Italy with your own police force. But enough about that then. So I agree. But someone did say that you shouldn't dig up the Savile stuff, because we all know it. Well, not everyone does know it. Netflix is a massive audience anyway. It's not just the UK. People in the US kind of know that he was a bad guy and they call him Jimmy Savile, but they don't really know the details. So I think it's good to go over it again. And I think it did go a bit light on the BBC and it went a bit light on the police. It did show that the ones in Manchester were on his side a bit, but it didn't really touch. Like he was really good friends with a really senior cop from Leeds who apparently helped him out, and they would have. I don't know what day of the week it was, but once a week he would meet in his flat in Leeds with like this senior cop.
That was on a Monday, the morning club,
the morning club. So that's where they would like put to bed. He goes, "Oh, there are some rumors about me. I want you to squash it because it's not true." And they're like, "All right, Jimmy, nice one. Will you sign this picture?" Absolutely.
It's bizarre. And that was one of the things that sort of stands out in one of the episodes, is where the mayor. He was starting to come a bit unstuck, and he knew the police were on his back. And he says to Savile in his flat, he said, "Oh, I know you've got some connections in the police. Any chance you can have a word?" And Savile was like, "Nah, it's just going to make things worse." And he just sort of left the mayor to his own devices. So he just basically told him to fuck off,
One thing that I didn't, that I keep forgetting about, that he was a wrestler as well. So he was quite tough, and he would get his victims in like wrestling holds and stuff. Like where they couldn't move. He was strong. People just couldn't get away. He would just turn in an instant.
That's what one of the victims said. His upper body strength was phenomenal. Like said, he was just such a strong physical character, which to look at you wouldn't think, but I think that was one of his many talents.
Especially because we mainly knew him as he was older and stuff, so he was more feeble than that in later years, especially the last few years.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really good. I liked the way Coogan played it. So he would turn like, it's like, oh, you come in for your free tickets. You're like, shut the door, would you? And he's like, what's in your knickers then? You better show me. It was like the instant, like evil was like, Jesus.
Yeah. And the part in the BBC studio as well, where he was looking down the hallway and he said to the girl, he said, she's a little bit lost, on your way. Don't go anywhere. And he just says, yeah, bye. And then he just like, come on in.
Just to show how smooth he must have been to like hide it from most people around him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I read about the girl that committed suicide, the 15-year-old, I think it was. I read about that last year when I was looking into it. Yeah, she said it was like loads of it. They'd go backstage after Top of the Pops and get plied with booze and pills and that, and get touched up, all that stuff, and no one would believe. I think she told her mum, and her mum's, I think, or maybe her mum found her diary and found out from there or something. But they didn't tell anyone, and everyone was scared of telling anyone anyway. People didn't talk about that stuff back then, and so he just got away with it hundreds and hundreds of times because people wouldn't tell anyone, and when they did, they wouldn't get believed.
Yeah,
the police were telling them to fuck off, producers were telling them to fuck off. So nasty times.
Yeah, and there was another instance where he got a 16-year-old girl pregnant as well, and they decided that the parents and the young girl decided to have an abortion, but they all three basically said it's just not worth the hassle to report it, so they just sort of kept it hush hush. This is something that popped up on the Sean Atwood Savile documentary on YouTube. I think it was called Shameless. No, Untouchable. It was called, sorry. Untouchable, and there's a few other stories in there as well which weren't mentioned on the Netflix one or the BBC one, The Reckoning. But yeah, some wild fucking things.
Yeah, I think I want to go back and watch that Netflix one from a couple of years ago as well. And then I will also rewatch The Reckoning, because there would have been, I did pay most attention to it actually, and I was sober, so that was good. But it's bound to be stuff I missed across the 4 hours. I thought the last episode was there wasn't a lot going on. It was just sort of jumping around a bit and going, oh yeah, he went into Big Brother and did this, and but I thought they could have gone more into the police and the BBC and that. But someone did ask the writer, and he said, oh, it's a whole program on its own. That it wasn't though they're trying to ignore it. There was just so much to fit in. But I hope someone does make that where it's just like from the police and the BBC or the royal family or whatever, all the institutions like covering up. You don't even need to have Jimmy Savile in that. You can just have people like talking about it.
Yeah, but that'll be a good way to spin it, right? Because we've had The Reckoning now, so we've seen the whole angle from Savile and the victims and the aftermath and everything. So it would be good to have a separate program or documentary just based on the behind the scenes. And again, like you said, you wouldn't specifically need to have an actor to play Savile if it was like a Netflix program. Just he's in the background, he's just lurking, maybe like archive footage or stuff,
Yeah, no, I think that'd be the best way to do it, like not really show him. By the way, do you like the fact that we've got shooting stars flying behind us? So you can't really see it that much. There's a whole scene there, but it's covered up by all this crap.
It's a good background. Carl's been spending much of his time doing that.
Today, basically all morning, and then that's why when Jamie was ready to podcast, I was still eating. I just finished making my food, and I just shoved it in my face.
See, this is what he does. He starves himself for the beloved pigs, right? That's what he do.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I loved it, and I'm watching both. And it starts out in Manchester because he had the nightclub right in the city centre of that club. Yeah, like the 3 whatever, but I know the street where it is, but the building might have been knocked down, or it's an office block now or something. So I'm gonna go and find it and see if I can, raise a dead or something, and then
do a little.
There's also, he lived in Salford as well, which is it's part of Manchester really. So I'm gonna go and see that just to have a look at where he lived as well, just to like walk past it and go, Jesus, that's his house.
Yeah,
the flat he used to go back to, because his brother was a hard man. His brother was like a local gangster. He ran 2 or 3 nightclubs basically, and that's how Savile got started DJing. He gave him the job.
That's right. Yeah, his brother was the one with the money and the women and stuff, wasn't he? I think Savile looked at him like, I want that. I could do better.
He had the police on his side as well, and would like kick the shit out of people and all that. So Savile, he got in because of that, really.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know anything. I don't know what happened to his brother. I think he had two brothers, and I tried to look at it because I heard a rumor about his brother being into some sort of one of the brothers being into some weird business as well as like general crime. But I need to try and see if we can research, because I think that there's at least two of them, Savile brothers. There might be three. So I don't know if anyone's still alive or whatever. I'm sure I did say the other day on something that I'm sure the Saviles have changed their name like the Hitlers now. You're not going to get like a Dave Savile born. So who's your uncle then? It's like it's Dave Jones.
He's a nobody. He's a Jimmy Savile Jr. named after your great uncle Jimmy.
What if there's a kid that's born like Schwarzenegger's kid with the nanny, right? And when he gets to like 13, 14, he goes, hang on, he's a really muscular young man. He's got the same head and the same mouth as you. There's someone growing up looking like Jimmy Savile. Like he can't control it. Just the hair's going up. He likes red sunglasses.
Yeah. He's got his dodgy tracksuits on. Loves walking around jogging to raise money for charitable causes and stuff. It's just in his blood. It's just in his DNA. How good was Coogan though, right? Like even Coogan's like hand movements and stuff, little gestures he done, just little.
Everything.
It was just absolutely fucking.
Yeah, I've loved Coogan forever, even before Alan Partridge. All of his other characters. I had a VHS of his live comedy show. But he's played, Paul Carf. He was like a drunk. He's had, was it Saxondale? That's really underrated as well. That he's played. So there's like 6 or 7 really good characters outside of Alan Partridge. It's not, that's the most successful one he's coming back to, but there's loads of good characters he's done over the years. Loads. I think Saxondale is pretty good. I have to try and dig it out.
I'll check some clips on YouTube.
Let you know.
I haven't really done any sort of Steve Coogan delve. I know he's been in so many things, and I know Alan Partridge and some other stuff. But
well, he's doing Alan Partridge for over 30 years now, because he started on the radio, and then the day-to-day on the TV was like 94, 95. And then he just went on to his own talk show called Knowing Me, Knowing You after that. There's loads of clips of that online.
Didn't he do a Christmas one of that? Knowing Me, Knowing You, or something like that?
Yeah. Really. And then after that, he did the sitcom, which is great. Just 2 series, I think. So 12 episodes. But it's just amazing. So really good actor as well. I think he can do a lot of good stuff after this. So hopefully he'll get a lot of good roles. And
it'd be good.
It was perfect for Savile as well, because he's northern. I know he's a bit of an oddball, and he can just do all the little you have to take it, Savile, all right. And the way he's walking around like that, it's just like him.
Yeah. No, he absolutely fucking smashed it. You can see sort of any footage of Savile back in his day and just compare it to what Coogan done. It's just absolute genius.
I like the scenes with him and the journalist over time. He's trying to write his book, and I don't know how real that was. If it was real journal, that was someone there, I'm not sure, but the scenes were really good, because it was always like he'd piss him off, so he'd leave, and he'd go, "Oh, please, I'll tell you," and get him back, and then he'd lie to him again. He's like, "God's sake, Jimmy, stop lying." Yeah, I think it did look on there that like he wanted to tell him, but he just knew he couldn't quite. And there was a couple of bits where he caught him, didn't he? He said, "Well, you said I'd never do any of that shit again. What did you mean?"
Yeah, that's right.
Nothing, because I never said it.
Because I never said it. And when he goes to into church, doesn't he? And he does a little confession, and he's like, "Yeah, I had egg and chips, and I didn't pay for it, even though I was persistent. The owner was more persistent that I didn't pay." And the priest was like, "All right, it's not really a sin. Anything else?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I got a friend of mine. He's a bit naughty, especially with young ladies." And he just was sort of confessing, but just, you know what I mean? Even by Catholic priest standards, he was like, "That's a mortal sin."
It was quite good I'm sure that this didn't happen, but it's probably drama. But when the mum goes to the priest first, like worried about him, because he's like, know, because she thinks he's gay probably at the start. So he's running around with young boys.
That's right. Yeah.
So when Savile goes in, the priest is like, "Oh, he's here. It's Jimmy."
I'm all about fun.
Absolutely unbelievable.
The Pops. The other good scene as well is where they done like the last episode, Top of the Pops, and Savile's in the chair in the BBC studios, and they got like a 30-second clip of him, and he's like, "Is that all?" He's like, "Oh no, we got another scene of you." and it's just him turning the lights off in the top of the pop studio. And he's just like, "Is that all you got?" I said, "Well, yeah, top brass have told us that's all we're allowed to put in the view." And you can see at that point his entire fucking world is just shutting down around him. And that's when he goes on Celebrity Big Brother. Then it's like
a bit sad at that point, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's trying to hang on to his fame.
Pathetic. It's crazy.
But when he goes down to London, he gets to the top of the pops. I think that was really good as well. Because he's like, "Oh yeah, you're interviewing lots of people," and then he starts slagging everyone else off, like that's subtly, right, yeah. And he's just making people like him.
Right.
But yeah, I did like the bit as well where they said, "Did he invent DJ?" And he goes, "Well, he says he did." He likes to say he did.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, maybe not DJing, but making people dance. He was one of the first, certainly the most famous. In the
he definitely. I mean, even if he wasn't the first, or one of the first, he definitely revolutionized the whole thing, right? He definitely
nightclubs at the time, because teenagers were new then, right? There weren't really teenagers before those days.
Yeah, there was
going out and getting drunk and going to clubs and stuff. It didn't really happen before that. So yeah, I mean, they all loved him as well. He was really super popular. That's why he got all those jobs. Radio Luxembourg.
Radio Lux. I just love the way he was like, again, I don't know how much truth is in it or if it was just dramatic purposes, but his mother was like, "Oh, you should be more like your friend who works in this hospital, or you should do this, you should do that." And he's like, "All right, Mum, I'll do that. I'm gonna be on the BBC. I'm gonna get a fucking knighthood." He just basically sort of done everything above and beyond to meet his mother's expectations, even after she was dead. And he always looked up and said, "Yeah, I think the Duchess is going to be looking down on me now, so proud." It's like everything he done was sort of like motivated by mommy. Fucking
like we said before this, it's like, "Oh, your mum's dead, Jimmy." He's like, "Not to me, she isn't." Like, it was just, and he stayed in the flat with her for a week after she died as well. So she would have been like decomposed, and he sat in there with her, kept all her clothes.
Yeah.
I think when Louis Theroux went round, he had all her clothes in the wardrobe and that. He goes, "These belong to the Duchess."
That's right. I'm glad you mentioned Louis Theroux, because I can't remember. It might have been Steeples. They were talking about Louis Theroux's documentary with Savile, because that's the first time Savile really fucking let things slip. Like, I think he was in the back of a car, wasn't he? And he said about, "I might be or I might not be a paedophile. How do you know? No one knows." But I think that it was a bit of criticism, I think, from Steeples, sort of saying if he pushed a little bit further and kept on at him, he probably could have gone more. But on the other hand, I think Louis Theroux, like admittedly himself said, after Savile died and after all this shit came out, he said he felt a lot of guilt, like he didn't go further. He felt he let the victims down by not delving any further into it.
He's also got to get his permit. Like, if he starts doing that, he might not let him hang around anymore. He might tell him to piss off.
And
so it's better to stay with him. But it was more than, I think he did two with him. But one of them, he gets on a waterbed. He's got a water. I'm sure I remember this right. He's got a waterbed at home, and he starts saying, "Oh, I like all the young girls on here." Like I think it's Louis. It might be something else. It might be another clip, but there is a clip of him on a waterbed saying, "You love
that one out." Fuck yeah,
it's great. But he'd say it all the time on TV anyway. He was like, "I love it." But a crumpet.
Yeah. What was his jumper he wore on one of the fucking chat shows? It was it was like a white jumper with some writing on. I can't remember what the writing was, but it was very sort of fucking, you got a clip.
No, I was just being rude. Someone messaged me. No, sorry. Yeah, no, I've not got that clip. I don't know what it said, but he's there's loads of it where he's on that TV show, because they show the clip of the TV show, and he's like, "What, aren't you worried about going to heaven if you're like sleeping with all these women?" He's like, "Not really, not." And he's like, "If I get up to St. Peter and he doesn't let me in, I'm going to say, 'What about all the good things I've done? Isn't that enough?'" And he says, "No, I'll break his fingers."
That's right, yeah. I'll break his fingers. And he's on about going to the pearly gates, and he's like, "Oh no, Jimmy, you can't come in because you've done X, Y, and Z." He said, "Well, that's the deficit side. But what I'll do, I'll flip her over and I'll show all the good stuff I've done, and it's going to outweigh the deficit." And
even Cunt and the Gang song goes on about that. It's like, I don't know what the first bit is. It's in charity races to offset that spunking on teenage faces.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But he did raise. I was thinking about this today. Like he raised a lot of money, right? How much did Savile raise for charity?
I think it was like 20, 30 million, man. It's something fucking stupid.
40 million pounds in over the years, and a lot of that was in the 70s and 80s. So it's worth a lot more than that now. So if he was never around, that 40 million pounds would never have gone to charity.
Yeah, and
he did do a lot of good, but also he built a hospital and then he snuck in with the keys and fucking.
Yeah, and you know what the bizarre thing is also? I mean, he was obviously getting his kicks by doing what he was doing, right? But there's been no allegations of him actively, stealing any of this money he raised. So
no, I think he was. I think he was genuinely giving a lot of money to charity, but it was to offset it, like because those were all these rumors about. Anyway, so he could go. I'm getting the credit in the bank.
Yeah,
so that I can go and do this really messed up shit. That scene where he's dressed as a jester in the hospital and he gets in bed and he's "Oh, I've lost my balls. Why don't we find them? Like, in there."
Keep digging. Keep digging.
Horrifying. Though. It's like,
what did he say to his friend in the hospital? He said, "If I wasn't such a good Catholic, I might go tell you to go fuck yourself." He was like, he
was funny, like in the show anyway. He was funny as well. He was funny, like he was so fast and just a piece of shit. Like the guy gives him information, he's eating a fry because can't I have some breakfast, Jimmy? He goes, "Hey, finish that off.
Finish that off. Extra rasher in there, just for me." He just walks off.
Well, I know that's like obviously not true as well, but that's probably what it was like getting the story. Just like it was a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's like when the doctor tells him like you're really ill and you need to have like heart surgery. He's like, "Well, is there anything you do for me? God knows I've raised enough money for the hospital." And they're like, "Yeah, we know you've raised a lot of money, but your diet consists of heavy smoking and like fried breakfast and takeaways." And he's just like, "Fix me up."
Yeah, because he was faking marathons a lot of the time, wasn't he? Because I think early on, I think he did run a few when he was younger. But then, a lot of the later ones, he used to get in a car and like just get out at the finish line and run the last 100 meters and stuff with a cigar in his mouth.
Yeah, everyone else is fucking dropping dead, and he's just there. I watched him on an interview. I can't remember who it was with, and this is back in his early days, and he was talking about when he used to work in the mines. And he used to finish his shift and he used to basically wash his face down and take his overalls off. And he had like a pristine white shirt underneath. And he said, so people used to think that I was like a witch because I'd spend a day down the mines, come out looking absolutely pristine and clean. And he said, so I learned from a young age, give people the illusion that you are different. And by being different, you sort of get away with more in some bizarre fucking way. And it worked for him.
Yeah, well, he was an odd kid, wasn't he? And he's always just an oddball.
Mm. What's one of the ones that popped up on the Sean Atwood documentary on YouTube? He said when Savile was very young, he had some injury and he couldn't sleep with his eyes closed for a few months or something. So he used to sleep when he was very young.
He probably had some sort of brain damage or something from that. Whether it's just that or his mum was a bit weird with him anyway, and there are always the rumors whether or not they were sleeping together as well.
Yeah, that's another rumor.
Who knows? And like she was keeping him like infantilized, and like who's going to look after you when I'm gone? When he's like in his 40s and stuff.
That's right. Yeah, I can't die. Who's going to look after you when I'm gone? Don't mind me, mother.
And then obviously the news that I sent you earlier, the police intelligence reports that someone's got out of freedom of information that they think he was sleeping with the mayor of Scarborough.
That was fucking completely
Peter Giaconelli.
Yeah.
Ice Cream Man. So I did a thing the other day, I think. So yeah, he's a gross looking man, Giaconelli.
Yeah, I mean, if you think Savile was they're kind of like polar opposites, right? Savile's a tall, skinny looking guy, and this guy's a short, fat, disgusting, greasy mess. Guess a lick.
They're holding hands. Come see Uncle Jimmy. See, there's the lovely scene we've got there. We need to be able to. I need to be smoother at that, but yeah,
it's a lovely.
So there, he was the mayor and in charge of local businesses and stuff as well. And they reckon him and Savile were running a ring together.
They were ruining rings.
A nice, lovely club for people, but Savile was equal opportunities. It wasn't just to beat it. It was dead bodies, possibly incest, definitely like went all directions. Old, mentally ill, possibly dead. The other rumors, because he had access to the morgue and the show because they didn't know. They were like they hinted that he might be because he was just in there.
Yeah.
The guy was like, "What are you doing in here?" He goes, "I'm Jimmy Savile. I'm just checking he's all right. He's dead."
Yeah, that's right. The old woman, wasn't it? Because they were prepping it to see the family, or the family wanted to see the dead, like Nan or whatever.
Because rumors go around, right? And on the terraces of Leeds Football Club in the 80s, they would sing "Jimmy Savile's gonna fuck you in a morgue." So rumors must come from somewhere. Like just one person. Well, I walked in on him. I was cleaning, and he was had to get his dick out. It probably came from a rumor like that. And just there's no internet, so it just goes around word of mouth.
Yeah, speaking of word of mouth, I'm sure you told me a story once about Savile. Wasn't there a rumor that you had some fucking
Solven, Husky Boyo
eyeball or something?
Rumor that you had what?
A fake eyeball? Like he took like a dead person's fake eye or some shit and had it engraved in some fucking jewelry or whatever. I'm sure you told me that.
It wouldn't surprise. Yeah, maybe I did. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Husky Boyo, by the way. Shout out at Husky Boyo. If anyone's watching this back later, at Husky Boyo everywhere. This is just over the road. I'll go to the real place later. But the post office did stamp the lines up there.
Yeah, motherfucks.
But originally there was also a label covering that much of it, and I managed to peel that off. I thought it was going to pull paint off and stuff, but yeah, it arrived. I assume it arrived today. It might have arrived yesterday. Very nice.
Mr. Artiste.
Growing collection back there. We'll talk about some of the others in a bit. But yeah, I don't know. Anything else to say about the Reckoning? I just thought it was really good, and I'm going to watch it again, basically.
I think I'll finish on one of the last scenes, or one of the scenes of the last episode, I should say, is where he's on the beach and he's speaking to his friend's wife, and then he's a little girl. She's like, "Come and sit on my knee. Don't know who you are." And he's like, "I'm Jimmy Savile." Does that weird thing, and as she's walking off, he says, "Oh, you happen to be 16." And that's when the penny drops for her, then being like, "Oh my god!"
So they're the ones from Stoke Mandeville Hospital, right? I want to find out about those two as well, because Stoke Mandeville was exactly, I think it's 12 miles from Amersham. Like, I'm sure one of my nieces was born in that hospital. It's just down the road. It's where every time my brother rings an ambulance now when he doesn't need one, that's where he goes. Even recently, so yeah, and leave my parents outside and all that stuff. I'll have to get the booze out in a second. Those bastards go shibble.
He's a bastard. Ghost Gerbil. Did I see Kev?
Yeah,
Kev popped up.
Yeah, he's in there. There
he is. Clint.
Yeah, but what can you do unless you're going to de-age him? I don't think they should have had a different actor. I thought it kind of worked. I thought it worked enough. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm definitely going to watch it again. Foul show, man. No.
Cheers to
there we go. There we go. But just I guess there's not much to say about the. We'll start talking nonsense soon, guys. So Holly Willoughby, TV presenter, had to leave her job because this guy, within the space of 3 days, had planned her kidnapping and possibly murder, and he had got a hitman to fly from the USA to kill her like 2 weeks ago. And the police, they said they're aware of it between Monday and Wednesday. There's no they don't know yet. It's not gone to court or anything. They've charged him and he's awaiting trial. So yeah, but he lost a lot of weight on a TV show. But my point was they should have kept him fat. So you give these people power, then they'll start kidnapping women off the telly. But he ordered a guy from the US to fly over and kidnap her. He was prepping the kit. I don't know who this guy was. They've named him. It's someone Nelson. And but it was all in the space of 3 days. Like him starting the planet, getting someone to fly over, paying him or whatever. The police found it all out. It must have done something to make him aware of it. But
smells like Philip Schofield to me. Some
people are saying she just made it up to get away with it, but it does seem that someone generally was trying to put her in a body bag. So anyway, his name's Gavin Plum. So I thought that was funny. And he's really fat, which I also thought was really funny. So that's it. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll come back.
This is a story I have not even fucking bothered to look at much. It was just, but it is interesting. But that's
all we know. They've arrested him. They've got a lot of evidence. Obviously, he's going to go to trial at some point next year, probably, and then we'll find out all the details then and about this guy. I guess the guy from the US. They'll probably try and extradite from the US, bring him over here.
Fucking hell. So this guy must have some cash, right? It's not fucking cheap to hire a hitman, and
it depends what kind of hitman. You could probably have someone killed for like a couple of grand. if it's not a high level one.
To come from the States, and fuck,
So but I reckon if they probably met online or something, they were posting stuff in forums. That's how they that's how they got aware of it. Because obviously he's posted something online, otherwise police intelligence wouldn't have picked it up so quickly.
I'm such a nosy fuck. Oh, sorry.
Draw those curtains, Mum. He got the voice down so it's hard to believe it wasn't him. Yeah, he was really good, and the actions as well. What I really like Ghost is where he's got him in the dressing room, and he's like, "Oh, you want some free tickets?" And then he's like, "You better show us what's in your knickers. You better show me."
We know where young girls put their tickets.
No, exactly. There's no way. Yeah, massive, absolutely ridiculous. But that's why he hired the guy from America to come over. So it's going to be interesting. They did name the guy, but I'm sure it's legal problems at the moment. But they'll definitely try and extradite him over here. I would think. What are you looking at?
I don't know. It's just a car park right outside my house, and I'm just curious to know what it is. I'm a nosy cunt. Let me shut these curtains because I'll just get distracted.
Unbelievable. It's like my mother. Him at number 37's come back with books. What does he want books for? She doesn't sound like that, but she should sound like that. What if you close those curtains and then like a bullet comes through the window and you should have, or you just hear your kids scream and they're in the boot of the car driving off. I should have paid attention.
Yeah, I should have listened to Carl and been fucking quiet many podcasts ago.
So exactly. But half an hour, I think we've covered most of our topics. What we doing, Brett? So I hear Brett Brock stayed up very late last night. I went to bed at like midnight and fell asleep at like 2, so I missed all the business. So I heard he also ruined his artwork. Yeah, I
went to bed at 4 a.m. I was fucking absolutely hammered. Like 4 a.m. It's time to go to bed, and I went to bed. Yeah. I had a few forkfuls of fish pasta, and I fucking spewed it everywhere. Horrible.
You were sick.
Yeah, I was sick last night. Yeah, about 4:10 this morning. Yeah. Did you spill beer on your fucking drawings?
Apparently, that's what I hear. I only heard old grandmama say that in the last hour, so I was asleep. I didn't know what was going on.
Babes, did a beer ruin your crayons? Oh, bless you.
But yeah, I just said it's definitely it's the first accident that was broadcast. I'm sure there's been one in the past. I've tipped years ago. I tipped a bottle of Smirnoff Ice over my laptop, and it was fine. It was fine. It survived. Like, all over the keys, the whole bottle of it. I don't know what I was drinking Smirnoff Ice for. But
young.
It was a long. I think it was my girlfriend at the time was drinking it, so I had a bottle of it, and spilled it everywhere.
Yeah, Halen fucking spilled a cup of milk in my laptop years ago, and that worked. That was fine.
Oh, it's fine. I said if it didn't work, you should have drowned him in the bath.
Yeah, no, I mean that's what I mean. I mean that worked, so we had another son then. It worked fine.
No, just called him the same name and just say he's a bit shorter. He's shorter than you remember. He's 2 years younger.
Sure. Yeah, that's exactly what we did. It's exactly what happened. Drowned him in a bath of milk. Proper.
That's what you do. So if you want to kill your kids, do it and just have another one. Name it the same. Don't let him out of the house for a few years. And then when someone sees him, just go, he hasn't grown in the last years. Yeah. I don't know what's happened with him.
He started smoking at a young age and it stunted his growth. It's it's a burden.
A bourbon. I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm buying a bottle of bourbon for the first time in about 18 months, maybe longer, maybe like 20 months. On Wednesday, there is gonna be a bottle of bourbon right fucking here, and we're gonna see how long it lasts. Maybe one night.
Yeah.
And then I'll be in jail.
Yeah. You'll be in jail for actually kidnapping Holly Willoughby, doing the job proper. I'll fucking show you I was fucking done. See what happened in the news the other day? They were in Israel reporting on the fucking the deaths of many people. Yeah, and they come up as breaking news, and I thought, what can be more fucking breaking than this? And it was a Holly Willoughby stepped down from ITV.
Oh yeah, didn't they? There was one channel where they reported it from like the border of Gaza. There's a reporter going, this TV presenter in the UK has stepped down. I said, why are you making him say it?
Yeah, on ITV that was, and you could tell the reporter was just like, what the fuck? I'm reporting on thousands of people being fucking blown up, and then Holly Willoughby. So I just put out rest in peace, Holly Willoughby, because the way they broke the news was like, fuck me, it must be important to break this news during a war. And yeah, crazy shit.
Fun. Yeah, I watched I watched a couple of days of it, and Brett, didn't the White House dock some Delta Force members on? They accidentally docked some special forces that were going into Gaza on the sly, and they just took pictures of them. And the Instagram of the White House goes, "Here's Joe Biden meeting some first responders."
Fuck yeah.
And because the photos have normally got the faces blanked out, and they shouldn't have even been at the fucking press conference.
Yeah, I prefer the season 1 of World War III penned in Ukraine. Season 2, Israel is not as good, but I think season 1 in Ukraine was better.
I've got a friend in Tel Aviv, and the last time they were getting rocketed 2 years ago, I texted her because I said, "Are you okay?" And she goes, "No, the rockets are going over, but we've got no bomb shelter in the house and the flats." So I was like, "All right." I said, "You do know it's a little bit your fault, right?" So I was like, "It's a little bit your fault." And she goes, "Yeah," but she said, "Yeah, I know." But this time she was just terrified because the boyfriend's been called up to serve, and
oh, is he? Shit.
Yeah, but they called up like 300,000 regular civilians and stuff.
That's true, yeah. But I just mean, her boyfriend's a bit more closer to home, I suppose. It's just
yeah, and the rockets they're not really hitting Tel Aviv, really, but So I didn't tell her it's a little bit her fault this time, but I'm still going to go over to Israel. I'm just going to let this die down first.
If there's any Israel left, or if that part of the world is even fucking there.
Oh, Israel will be fine. If there's any problems, it'll be the 3 countries surrounding it that will be leveled.
Yeah.
So yeah, the pieces are in place for a new Middle East war. It has been a few years, so let's get those pieces in place. The Yanks have wanted to level Iran for the last 20 years, so I think the time's on its way.
Oh, the times they are changing. Oh, it's definitely fucking something to look forward to. Sure.
I haven't been following it too closely. I just saw it on Twitter, and I did look through a few sources, and it was true. That they accidentally, and I do have the faces of those men in my pocket, but I will not release them here. Just an amusing mistake, I think. But yeah, it's going to kick off. But I'm definitely going to go over to Israel. It looks like a nice place. I always forget it was on the coast. Obviously, I know more about it now. It's in the news more. But there's a really nice beach just north of Gaza. It's all beaches and nice weather and hotness. So it's supposed to be like a
nice place.
Yeah, I'm going to wait until this entire new war dies down. It might be 20 years, but after that, I'll go over and lay on the beach. What I won't do is have a peace rave on the border. I won't be doing that.
Yeah, just don't go to a peace rave. Maybe the noise is just too loud. Maybe they're like, shut the.
Listen, we've all had noisy neighbors. You saw me in my old flat. It's like, shut up, I'm coming up there.
Yeah. These things, they escalate a little bit, too quickly on times, and I'm sure there's going to be a resolve. We'll keep it down. We'll wear headphones next time. Apologize.
I was thinking of doing a cooking stream and making an Israel and Palestine cake, and then mushing them together. And then
be good, that will. Solving world peace.
Eating from one big pile.
Yeah, I think Rocky should make Stallone should make another Rocky film, and it should be based. He should go and basically train an Israeli fighter to beat a Palestinian fighter,
and at the same time film a new Rambo, where he goes over there and just shoots people in the face.
Yeah,
but then finds a family in the end. Finds a Hamas family that he helps, and he goes, "Oh, they're not all bad."
Yeah, and at the end of it, they all hold hands. All we are saying is give peace a chance.
Big jokes, and I had a great one about the Hamas guys coming in on the paragliders. He goes, it's the first soldiers that have gone to war going, wee!
Yeah.
Must have been fun times.
What's the apocalypse now theme? Ride of the Valkyries, ding, 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 ding.
I think that's Ride of the Valkyries, and I'm completely uncultured and might be completely wrong.
I think it is Ride of the Valkyries. Yeah, I like to think that they were listening to that in their headphones as they were coming in on the paragliders. Also, just for added, theatrics.
Give me a second. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna see why my laptop power isn't plugged in. It is plugged in, so I don't know what I've done. It's right here.
Plug it in, baby. Ooh. Yeah, Big J's fucking absolutely class. Really, 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 really good. I fucking hate it when Carl leaves me alone. I feel like I'm gonna get abused in my own home by somebody. Are they all Brett Scott? Are they all Brett sketches in the back, apart from the car?
No, I can go through them in a bit. So that's Brett's, and this little turret there that you can just about see, I can actually see from my flat. So we picked a random picture of Manchester and just started painting it, but it's literally over there. Like my flat is behind this building pretty much. My street is there. Nice. So that's part of the station, which I can see out of that window.
Cool. Nice. Brock, I have a castle in my hometown, Caerphilly Castle. I reckon you do a pretty good sketch of that. I'm not saying to do it and send it to me because Carl has one. I mean, I think you'd be pretty good at doing that.
Yeah, I always dox myself. I've doxed myself constantly since I lived there. Everyone knows where they can get in and chop my head off if they want. We'll save that for Twitch. We'll save it for Twitch once we're off YouTube.
That tower looks like a great place for a fucking sniper to hide out, right?
Yeah, they could probably see into my flat from there, pretty much.
There's a little red laser behind your wall on your right shoulder.
Caerphilly, so it's like, is it Caerphi? So if you look at Jamie as the mayor of Caerphilly, it's that word there.
Yeah,
Caerphilly. The castle's nice. The rest of the town is people in tracksuits and one eyes and like a genetic disorder.
In fact, the castle is probably the most modern thing in Caerphilly, which,
that's true.
It's very true. Yeah, there's a lot of details of that castle as well, because one of the towers is like fucking pretty much collapsing.
I've only seen it twice. I walked from Cardiff to Caerphilly once and got the train back. It's fucking miles. And then the second time I saw it was when I was over there about a year ago or so. Ready for your anniversary.
When you come down in the next couple of weeks before Christmas, maybe we should do a little day out in Caerphilly. We just go for a nice stroll around the castle or some shit.
Yeah, that quick shandy in a rough pub on the way back.
Hell yes. Well, we can go to the courthouse. That's a pub that literally overlooks the castle. It's beautiful scenery.
I might have seen it when I was over there, actually. I did see a couple of pubs that I was tempted to go into. Yeah, let's do it. So very soon the plan is now to get over to Caerphilly and hang out with Jamie, and we'll do some kind of stream. We might do another recorded thing. And then apart from that, we'll just get really, really, really drunk, and make Jamie's children sing songs about Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
I want to wash this finger because I don't think I've been itching my arse, but it does stink like shit.
Good. That tower is been on the verge ever since. Before I was born, that tower has pretty much been fucking that way. But they have like a statue now of a giant fucking holding it up. It's pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool. In fact, that tower was it's a logo on some school uniform.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, see that view over there. We can if I sit in the beer garden, we can literally see that tower. Without.
All right, let's do it. Let's make an afternoon, a couple of pints. You get a full day's permission slip.
Hell yes.
Yeah, it is a nice one, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a beautiful.
I had the castle when I lived around there. I had the castle key, which got me into Cardiff Castle, Caerphilly, and there's one on is it Castle Cock?
Cock.
Yeah, it's funny to say cock though, isn't it? That's the one up the hill. That's the one embedded in the hill in the trees, isn't it? Because I walked past it, I think, to get to Caerphilly or to Ponty.
Yeah, it's it was built by, I think it was fucking Lord Bute or something. So it's basically some fucking coal guy was like, right, I want a castle. I'm going to build a castle, and pretty much what happens.
Yeah, so that's this one here.
Yeah, Castle Coch. That's not far from my live either.
You can see. Yeah, I walked past the hill that it was on when I walked up that way. There's all these footpaths. I think it's Taft Trail, isn't it? Goes all the way from Cardiff.
Yeah, it is. Beautiful spot.
And Boot. So Boot Park was the park right by my place where I lived, and that went a mile and a half or so north to the top.
Yeah, it's a mean fucking park, that is.
Yeah, that's the one thing I miss. I still I'm pretty close to the city here. I'm pretty much in it, but there's no park like that right by here. There's Withenshaw, but it's a bit of a way, it's a couple of miles away.
Okay.
Whereas Boot Park was pretty much on my doorstep, and the castle was right there. And then so I'd always go walking around there. Or sometimes that's the park where I shit myself in 1 week apart on the same day in 2020.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Is that around the same time you took a shit on HMRC building?
So that was a little bit later. That was the last time it really happened. It might have been that Christmas. Let me think about it. It was either Christmas 21 or Christmas 22. I'm thinking probably 21 because 22 we were doing this by that point. In fact, 21 we started doing it, but I think it was like November 2021. That's what I feel. People were out Christmas shopping, and I was in tears in the street because I was going to shit myself.
I love this story. I really do. Honestly, it's one of the best stories I've ever heard in my life. But it's just the way
I went out to have a nice walk around town at Christmas, look around the Christmas market, and my gut started to go. So I was like, I'll start heading home, and I turned away from St. David's Centre down by the Millennium Stadium, and because I lived around there, and when I got too far away from St. David's Centre, where I could go to a bathroom and not quite close to home, that's why I was like, I've got to go in the next 3 seconds. So I shit. Not only did I go around the back of the tax building and shit all up the fire escape, whilst there were men working in a hole. There were workmen in a hole with floodlights like right next to me. I was like, ah! Then in the 5-minute walk home after that, in dignity, I had to go again. So I went, there are these, in fact, let me bring up a map. I think it's just much easier.
It's probably still there now and unclean because
one in the alley. Yeah, someone's back alley.
It's just got red tape around it.
So if we look at the city of Cardiff,
it's just the way you explain it of just being like acrid shit all up the fucking wall, like when a cat lifts up his tail and has the runs and just.
So basically, I lived here. There's the park, but I was in town, which is here. It's not far. It's like 10-minute walk. But I came down here. I turned left, which is by the stadium. Yeah, there's a stadium. There's toilets here, basically, or here. Yeah. But I got to here. No, I must have got to here and then realised, I think the tax building is here. Shat behind that. Then I walked up here, up this street.
Nice.
Yeah, so hang on. So I would have taken the shit because I would have walked up the river, needed it about here. So let's see if we can get... I don't think it was this road. So it must have been this alleyway. Yeah, so I would have gone down this alleyway. So I shit. Can we get in there, boys? We can't get in there. Basically, I shit behind someone's house about there. That's the stadium. Behind these houses, basically.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Perfect.
But that one, I was like, because then I'm scared that people are going to come out of their houses. Why you shit up a fucking house? I'm just like scared. I'm like, nothing to wipe on. Fucking shameful.
Fucking brilliant.
That's the last time it's happened. What's happened recently? I haven't had those problems, but I've got back home just in time. I haven't had to run too much apart from maybe down the corridor. So I'm kind of getting it under control. I had to take a shit in the gay pub a few weeks ago. I was just walking home and I was like, I've got to go. And I've got to go in there. So I used to be able to not go in places and stuff, try and make it home. Now I'm like, nah, wherever the nearest toilet is, I'm going in.
You gotta go. Did I ever tell you about the time my father, when he worked on the rails, he used to drive freight trains, and he was like a million miles from anywhere, right? And he basically just had a really bad fucking wet fart, which turned into fucking shit. So all he had was literally just a newspaper. So he just basically fucking surfed his fucking boxes out the window, load of fucking shitty newspaper, and just fucking gone. Like absolute fucking hell. I'm going to pass on the prop instead of that's a good point.
But it's a really nice centerpiece of the town, and then the rest of the town is fucking awful.
Yeah, the rest of the town was like Gaza, only not as nice.
Yeah, Gaza's probably got better bars. And better,
ISIS did come to Caerphilly to start war, and then they were like, "Fuck, someone's already been here. We better just go."
Yeah, they felt sorry for it though. We can't.
ISIS gave us humanitarian aid when they saw the state of Philly. They offered us aid, and then we gave them Shamima Begum.
That's why they went to Syria.
Yeah, that's why they went to Syria then. Yeah. So they wanted a parting gift, so we gave them Shamima Begum. There we go. Take her. She will bear many children for you. I didn't say they would survive, but she will bear them.
I'm at that point where I think I'm too warm. But if I take, by the way, this is the winter jumper that I wore all of the last 2 winters, like every day.
I thought I recognised that beauty. Never been washed.
Yeah. Well, I had another one last year, but I lost it in the toilet pub. I'm all sweaty. I lost it in the toilet pub down there, so I went back and it's not there. So I'm quite gutted about this. But this will be on every day. I've got the Husky hoodie, but then I'm going to buy more hoodies in the next couple of weeks.
Husky, nice. I decided for the winter, I've got loads of jumpers, so I'm going to start because I've got a lot of t-shirts I hardly ever wear. So I'm going to start buying more like long sleeve tops and really act like a cool kid and just like wear a short sleeve top over a long sleeve top. Really get down with the kids,
Yeah, we'll have to get on with that date when I'll come down because we've only got 8 viable weeks, and really, it's probably only 7. So,
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we'll definitely come down. We'll the boss is all happy for it. I think be good if Halen can teach you a few chords.
I need to start playing it. I'll come and break his guitar again.
You'll have a good jam with him if you want. He's got loads of guitars now, so you two can have a good jam, and I'll
only be able to play for about 5 minutes because my fingers are all soft, like a baby's bottom,
like a baby's sphincter. Excuse me.
It's Eve Leington.
Hello, Eve.
In the YouTube house over here, Ian. We're gonna we're on YouTube for a little while. We might turn that off and go to Twitch if you want to get insane later. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm already on Twitch.
I'm in the mood for anything, everything.
Dancing, romancing. We are going to attempt to do some kind of Halloween show. I don't know when we'll be able to do that, but I think we should try and get an hour in at least somewhere. I'll go. Yeah. I'll put at least a mask on for it.
Well,
swastika.
I'm definitely down for because Tuesday. I don't think we've got anything planned. But even if we have got people over, even if I could just jump on when everyone fucks.
Oh, you won't be allowed that.
Yeah, I will. Well, but now she knows you're coming down shortly. She'll have to be on her best behavior and be all like, "Okay, go and play with Carl." She doesn't want to slap off you. Yeah. Talk about what's the plans? Halloween? Did we do anything on Halloween actual day? No. Okay, we got nothing planned on actual Halloween. So sweet. We can do a little podcast.
You can have an hour and a sober hour.
Huh. Wink, got friends, so wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh yeah, Hayden got some friends over, so that's fine. We can do a cheeky little podcast. Nice.
Give him some lighter fluid and some matches. And
he's progressed onto them now. I think he can be trusted.
Some nitrous oxide before they make it an imprisonable offense.
Nitrous oxide? Well, they're looking to make that fucking illegal.
Yeah, users as well. If persistent users can be jailed. So let's put addicts in prison, and then obviously disposable vapes.
Yeah,
they're coming down.
Oh, they're clamping. And do you know what? I'll be honest. I fucking agree with it in a way because it's ridiculous. Like you could this one, right? This was like 11 quid, and but it's got like 9,000 puffs and it's rechargeable. So I'll have it for like 3 weeks.
So what I didn't know, I knew that barber shops were often a front for like money laundering and stuff, but apparently vape shops, barbers, and mini marts as well, like little cheap off licenses, are often fronts for some other business or their money laundering.
Yeah, that's their legit books, and then they've got their dodgy books. Yeah,
there's one up in Blackpool. My mate lives up there, and he they said they opened this barber shop on this little run of shops. And one day the police raided it, and it was the whole upstairs was full of weed, and but they were running. They were even running their electricity off of like the main supply. They dug into the ground.
Yeah.
Well, they would gone outside and dug in with high vis and all that, pretending they're you just go, they're digging up the road for whatever reason. But it was them. I think they were Armenians or something. And then they just straight line the power from the cables. So
yeah, straight in.
That's just so it doesn't look suspicious if they're getting really high energy bills with all like the weed lamps and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it's like the things people.
But they never caught them because I think the police had raided them and they'd already gone.
Yeah, that's fucking It happens. I've heard of a guy I used to work with. His father was he's a plumber, and he had a call at once, fucking to someone's house, and they had some issues, and they smelled gas, and this. So you keep sniffing your ass finger, you know.
I don't think it is because I can't remember digging around up there. I've got jeans. It's normally when I'm in my shorts or something. You're like,
Yeah, you're getting in there. So obviously people like bypass electric and they do it. But yeah, long story short, my mate's father, he's a plumber and he went to someone's property. Long story short, again, they found a way to bypass the fucking gas supply. So they had gas run into their property, but it was basically just using like fucking hose pipes, inner tubes just to connect the gas up.
So unsafe. Yeah.
Fucking dangerous. And he was like, this is the problem. This is why you can smell gas, because there's got fucking punctures every fucking way. It's got holes in there.
That's the plot for an episode of Bottom, the gas man. It's one of the best episodes ever. Like they nick it off the neighbor.
Nice. I haven't watched Bottom for years, and I have never seen every episode. So
good. My absolute favorite, the first two series especially, but the gas man, I think it's on season 1, is so good, and they end up trying to murder the gas man because they've been nicking it off next door. It's like, I'm here to reach a meter. It's like 0 0 0 0 0.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, apparently my dad did it to the neighbor when we were kids. Like he was having next door's electricity. They were paying for it basically. So
yeah,
he just like knocked some holes in the walls and cabled it up.
Yeah, fucking brilliant. Well, you know, they charge too much. They shouldn't be charging as much.
They do. Do you know how many times I put the heating on last winter?
3.
None.
0, baby.
0.
It's pretty cold as well. Last
fucking 1. Well, I've got this little heater, a little Dyson thing that's pretty fucking cool. So that was enough. And this year I've had it on a few times. I put it on for an hour near where I am. It just warms that room up basically after a couple of hours. I'm going to do it this year as well. I'm not going to switch it on once. This is a fight against big heating.
Yeah, big gas.
So yeah, but I didn't use any gas. So the only power I use are the lights, which are fuck all, the cooker, the shower, kettle, and that heater thing, which it's not like crazy. It doesn't use a crazy amount of power because it's not like hasn't got an element in there or anything. So that's my fight back against big heating. And if it doesn't work, I will shit up at the headquarters of every utility building in the country.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing to look out for if you're buying a heater. If you've got like a heating element inside there, that's gonna fucking like hair dryers, straighteners, anything with a heating element will fucking rinse the electric.
Yeah,
but you can get something decent without.
That's why kettles and showers and stuff. When you switch them on, if you watch like the smart meter and stuff, it's just flying up. They're quite small as well.
Yeah, heating elements are fucking wild. But that's why I had a smart meter, but within a few days we decided to just unplug it because it was just so fucking dreary watching the costs go up. You're like, what? So if I turn this off and I can't see it, it's not really happening. So yeah,
depressing. Yeah. I don't look at it now either.
Fuck that.
Ignoring it, but yeah, it's all good. But yeah, that's my way around big heating.
Big gas fight.
Drink in a second. Yeah.
Did you see
the man?
Did you see the fucking stop all protest the other day? There was a bus, right? The bus was basically taking.
Oh, I saw a clip and they wouldn't stop, right?
Yeah, they were like, it was a guy going, just sit down, and the bus driver just kept going and going, and he was going, "You fucking animal! There's people fucking protesting here." But the bus
there's people sat in the road here. Yeah, you shouldn't be here.
He just fucking kept going. He's probably going like fucking 4 miles an hour, but he was just like, no, and there's people crying.
He's probably going to get arrested and banned from driving for life as well for that, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he'll be a hero.
But
I'd like to think we can all do a whip round in a pool for him and just, basically pay his living expenses until the day he dies. What a fucking hero. And the best one was it in Germany? I think it was in Germany. Stop all protests. Someone glued their hand to the fucking road, So all they done were basically fucking chiseled out a chunk of concrete,
dig him up,
fuck off, and they're like big bricks, they're like weighing down, and they're like, you just he's like, yeah, fuck off.
That is pretty hilarious, actually.
That's the best one, isn't it? It's great.
Was it Stop Oil then, or was it something else?
I'm pretty sure it's Stop Oil. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in Germany.
Oh yeah, they got them digging them out.
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant. It's just like perfect.
It's just they're just a pain in the ass, to be honest.
Yeah.
There he is.
There you go. And he stood up. Look at that. Look at him with a big fucking wedge of concrete in his hand. Like, yeah. Fucking
unbelievable, I say. It's bloody unbelievable. Yeah, fuck them. Oh, I'm getting all mealy mouthed. Let me get a drink here.
Get a drink in. I'm gonna have another beer in a minute or two. Car's gonna come back. I'm gonna grab myself a beer and grab a piss. In the old words of Jimmy Savile, this podcast is all about three things: fun, fun, and fun. God bless Jimmy, fucking animal. But yeah, Brock, have a look at Caerphilly Castle in Deal. I think you fucking absolutely smash it. It's really beautiful castle. Some good details in there. Looking forward to it, sir. That's where me and Carl are going to go when the zombie outbreak happens. Me and Carl are going to take over Caerphilly Castle as the old fortress.
Your mother smells of elderberries or your father smells of elderberries? I don't know which one. Which one it was. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it for years. Brave Sir Robin ran away.
Quick pee. Please hold.
Do. Jamie is going over there to have a fart in the corner. So I made this little overlay today, isn't it lovely? But I've got to remember to take it off. I forgot to do the whole point. I was late for fucking dinner because I was supposed to put a little Steve Coogan and Jimmy Savile up there the whole time. Unbelievable. Listen, shooting star backgrounds. The world has changed. Yeah. Talk about America after this. God's sake, Carl. For God's sake, put that back on there. What's wrong with you, you amateur? You goddamn weirdo. So yeah, if any of you that came in for the topic made it this far, go to subscribe and all that stuff. And cheers for watching the videos I've been putting up lately. Thank you. I enjoy making them. Yeah, we'll wait for Jamie to get back. Hey, Evie Ling, why don't you go over to Twitch? Always go off topic anyway. Always go off topic. I think we'll close YouTube down and go over to Twitch. Well, stay on Twitch very soon when we get the old King Jamie of Jamesville back. Oh yeah, so I got this one. We got a little Stanhope. I was supposed to do more, but I just didn't have time. I didn't even have time to eat my own food before we did this show. So I had to, well, I did. I actually ate it before this. That's what I did, damn it. So Jamie and I will be back on actual Halloween, and he better come back because I'm gonna get a bit of makeup on. So it will not be anything. I will not be dressed as a zombie Nazi. Do not let the rumors get out of hand. I might just put a witch's hat on my penis. And we will see. But he is returning to the fold right now. And here he comes. Fon has returned.
Lovely.
Oh, yes. Don't tell your mother. I need to get the voice. I haven't got the voice. I just got northern voice. I need to get another. Let's get the voice. Oh, yeah. I forgot the whole point of me being late for dinner. And I forgot to do it whilst we were talking about him, was having this up.
Oh, yeah. There he is. Mr. Coogan. Yes. What was his what was another fucking Savile interview? He's talking about I don't like women. I don't like women because women know too much. I'm all for girls because girls don't know too much. Like another fucking admission of guilt.
Oh, don't have kids because that means having a wife and that means having strife. You got brain damage.
You see now why I don't get married. It's a good
legendary behavior. Evil Ian, go over to Twitch. Anyone watching this back on YouTube, give us a sub and all that stuff, and then we'll see you later, you goddamn coos. I think we should be Twitch only from here on out. What do you think, Jamie?
I'm all for Twitch, brother.
I like to keep YouTube succinct to the moment. Right, YouTube, see you later. Give us a subscribe and all that stuff, and we will be back another time. Until then, I don't know how to do this. I think I just press remove. Do I just press remove?
I don't know. We're off to the nether realm of Twitch.
Woo. Yeah, I think I just do this. Spank.